Mr. Shaheen Ali.
And the Honourable Fayaz Square, Minister of Industry and Trade and Tourism, the Honourable Vijay Nath, Assistant Minister for Infrastructure and Transport, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me much pleasure to be here. I think when you have two accomplished speakers speak before you, you don't really have to say much. The Minister and his Permanent Secretary have already said what needed to be said. But I'd just like to essentially highlight that two things. One is that Fiji is in a very premier position. As we always talked about Fiji being in a geographical hub, and we need to take advantage of it. Indeed, we should have done so many years ago. But I think the reality is that Fiji has a much better educated workforce compared to many of the Pacific Island countries. The infrastructure is a lot better positioned. We have a much younger workforce, well-educated workforce. Indeed, of course, with the free education now and tertiary education loan scheme, we'll have a lot more people coming on stream to be able to contribute towards that intellectual capital that Fiji has compared to many other Pacific Island countries. And I think, given all of that, we should be able to take advantage of the geographical hub by providing these types of services to many other Pacific Island countries. Many of them do not necessarily have the finance, do not necessarily have the infrastructure, nor the intellectual capital to have such facilities. And I hope that the Permanent Secretary and the Minister are going to start charging some of our neighbours for some of the services they're offering through this. Because indeed, I mean, we need to do that. Obviously, there's a cost. And many countries like Singapore, for example, who have positioned themselves as a premier destination in terms of providing these types of services, they do also charge for it. I'm not saying that everything has to be done in money terms. There can be, of course, some direct assistance, but also it's a service that we are providing. So that's one issue. And it is very, very important for us that Fiji not just sets these institutions up for providing services to the rest of the Pacific Island countries, but also for us. If we want to progress the Fijian economy to the next stage, we need to ensure that standards are in the best position, that we have very good standards, whether it's meteorological standards, whether it's food standards, whether it's infrastructure standards. All of these are critical to ensuring that the economy is positioned well, that the economy becomes attractive. Because if you have standardized standards and if you have transparency about it, it also encourages investment. People will feel that they can come into this environment and invest, knowing that all the standards will be met. And also know that these standards will always be applied uniformly, not willy-nilly. I think the other most important point is that as we see, for example, some of the divestment of some of the shares or the setting up of statutory bodies of state-owned enterprises, it's important to separate the supplier from the regulator. So the Water Authority of Fiji, as the Minister highlighted, cannot be the jury and the judge, and cannot also be the supplier of water, but also at the same time tell you that your water meter is working okay. You need to have an independent third party to be able to tell you that. I see Mobil Oil is represented. If the oil company is supplying oil, they need to have an independent body to say, well, you know, the Bowser that you're using is actually independently verified, and it actually is 5 liters of fuel that you're actually buying. And the fuel, indeed, even for the service station owner, they know that what Mobil Oil is putting in the bunker is actually the right amount of fuel. The same way with Fiji Water is here. They know exactly that the taxes that they're paying on water resources is calibrated at the right measurement, it's calibrated independently. So it's very critical to have these facilities in place. I think the other issue is that, for example, we now need to move on to other regulated SOEs, for example, electricity. At the moment, there's no separation between the supplier FEA and the electricity boards and the certification of that. So we are currently at the moment working with Asian Development Bank to be able to have a separate regulatory arm regarding electricity. Of course, things like pricing can be done by the Commerce Commission, and that's work in progress regarding that. So I think without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, just to highlight the point that this, in fact, may look like a very simple machine, but in fact, symbolically, it is quite a huge game changer, because it signals to the rest of the country, and indeed the rest of the Pacific, that Fiji is now moving on to the next stage of development in terms of ensuring that we have good standards, we have standards that will be independently verified, and indeed that we all need to adhere to. So I'd like to thank the Permanent Secretary and his team for ensuring that we're able to have this launch today, and I know it's been a bit of a hard slog trying to work through the Fiji Procurement Office and getting them to understand about how machines work and tenders, etc. I'd also like to thank the Minister for his input into this, and also we look forward to his further input in terms of further positioning the Department of Trade Standards and Measures onto the next phase. So thank you very much for being here on a Friday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and I wish you all good afternoon. Vinaka, thank you. I just asked you a question. Is this gluten free or not?